Natasha Helfer-Parker joining us. You treat so many people as a licensed sex and family therapist, and you have a blog called The Mormon Therapist. When you look at these values, and they are so admirable, I mean, they truly are, but these values are in competition, in a sense, with what the world is becoming. When you treat people, do they find that they have that conflict in their lives?
Oftentimes that's the case, especially for our young adults, our teenagers and our college-age students who are expected to wait until they are married to be sexual with another person. So that can be difficult, of course, in our day and age when sexuality is kind of forefront and center. And and many of their friends are having sexual explorations, and as far as non-member friends. So yeah, it can create some conflict for people, for sure.
You know, Jodi Arias was not Mormon, and she was converted to Mormonism. She chose to be a Mormon within weeks of meeting Travis Alexander. I want you to listen to this, and this is in Jodi Arias's own voice about how she met Alexander and became a member of the Mormon faith. Listen.
How long did you guys actually know each other?
We met in September of 2006 at the MGM Grand.
2006?
Yeah, and that was the pre-legal international convention, where tens of thousands of people go.
And when did you guys actually start dating?
Not for a while. We met in September. The following weekend, he invited me to church. And the following Wednesday of that Sunday, he gave me a copy of the Book of Mormon. I started reading it. I got baptized November 26th.
Joining us, everybody, Natasha Helfer-Parker. She's a licensed sex and family therapist. She is the Mormon therapist, she is referred to. Natasha, can someone convert to Mormonism truly believing in the Mormon faith so quickly? I mean, can someone believe that this is what they've looked for their whole life in such a short period of time?
Yes, I believe that does happen to many people. Not everybody. Some people take longer times, but oftentimes spiritual convictions can come fairly quickly, and they can accept, kind of the standards of the faith, and within a few weeks or months be baptized. So that's not completely uncommon in our church.
What about guilt? Because we are seeing Jodi Arias and Travis Alexander. Let's focus on Travis. He knew the life he was supposed to lead. What he was doing with Jodi was not the tenets of the Mormon faith. Do you believe that he had guilt, and that's one reason why he didn't want to see Jodi Arias anymore?
I'm not sure I can correlate those last two statements. I'm sure there was probably some guilt if he considered himself a practicing Mormon, as to his behavior not necessarily matching the tenets of his faith. But I can't speak to that being a reason why he would end the relationship with her. I mean, many people in our church do have premarital sex or have struggles with their sexuality with each other and continue to get married or continue other relationships, so I'm not sure those two correlate.
Some of the testimony that we heard from Marie Hall was about what it takes to gain priesthood in Mormonism. Let's listen to that.
Let me ask you about the term priesthood holder. What does that mean in your church?
So the priesthood holder is basically, so at the age of 12, a young boy receives the priesthood. So, and there's different levels of priesthood power and keys, but it's essentially somebody that holds the power to give blessings. It's power ordained to them through God.
Okay.
And so in order to have that, you have to make sure you are maintaining a worthy, clean, pure lifestyle, and it's essentially a way to serve people in the church by giving blessings of healing, of comfort, and so on. And they also bless the sacrament with it, and they use that also in the temple.
Wanted to read to you both something that Jodi Arias actually said to Detective Flores. And this is a quote from Jodi. She said, quote, "A couple of times we prayed about it. It didn't work. Or we didn't stick to our guns on it. And one time a girlfriend of mine just said, why don't you go to your bishop and talk? And I asked Travis the same, and I talked to him about it. And he got really angry. He said, I've already had problems with this in the past. I'm embarrassed by it. I don't want to go to my bishop. And so we just kind of stopped for like a few weeks, and then that was, and I think it was obviously, and then it just resumed. Natasha, what happens if someone engages in premarital sex in the Mormon faith? How do they reconcile that, or do they all go to their bishop and repent? What do they do, or do they go to you?
Well, it depends on the person, obviously. I think the guidelines, what's recommended by the church is that if you're having some type of sinful situation, that you do go speak with your bishop, especially if it's as severe as premarital sex is deemed in the church. So it's not like you need to go to your bishop for any little thing that we do wrong, but some of the more things that are considered more serious are recommended to go and talk to your bishop. At that point, if you do go talk to your bishop, there will more than likely be some disciplinary consequence to that, in the sense of you may not be able to partake of the sacrament